I wanted to talk to you a few minutes about what we're talking about for the next 2 days. So we're talking about digital transformation in action. I'm hoping that you can come away from these next 2 days with tangible, concrete ideas that you can take back in your organizations and put to work to drive execution and successful transformation. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about some examples of what I think that means, and I encourage you to carry on that conversation in your Q&A with our exhibitors, with our panelists, with our keynote speakers over the next 2 days. So when I think about digital transformation, I think about the difference between what we plan to do and what we want to do and what we actually produce in the real world. And I'm going to use an example of that. So to the point on the slide, my thesis is that the experience your customers actually have matters more than the quote-unquote customer experience that we design on paper. So we do a lot of work internally in our companies to figure out what should that customer experience be and what should the customer journey be and how do we do segmentation and all those great design thinking exercises. What's really crucial though in digital transformation is actualizing it, is bringing it to life and going beyond what we think is going to happen and actually defining it in the real world for what that experience truly is. And so let me ask you to start. You can raise your hands. How many of you in the last week have gone through your product experience as a customer in your company? Anybody? So think about that. We're creating things for our customers, but are we actually doing them ourselves? And so here's an example. So I'm not trying to ding Delta and Hertz. I'm a longtime customer, but I hit a new status level on Delta, and so they sent me this email, which is really great. Enjoy 1 car class upgrades on Hertz rental cars globally. Well, this sounds like a really good offer. This is something exciting to me as a customer. Clearly, they've thought through the digital experience because they sent this to me on email, but they have a link to their app and to their website to carry through with it. And so if I reserve a car on Hertz in eligible locations, as long as it says in the US, Canada, and select European cities, I can get a full-size class vehicle as long as I minimum reserve a compact vehicle. This is pretty straightforward, right? Like this should not be an issue. This should not be a problem. So what do? I go and I click on the site and this is what I see. So this is the live screenshot when I went to execute on this offer. And you can see I've got economy, small, medium, standard, medium, elite, and large. So what's not there? Well, there's no compact and there's no full size. So right away, the terms of the offer are not carried through when I go to fulfill it. It has a price, let's say the large sedan, $68 US a day. Is that the discount price or is that the upgrade price? I don't know. I don't even know if this location is eligible because it says it's select cities. And what am I saving? So it says it's $68 a day for a Chevy Malibu. Should it be $80 a day? Should it be $50 a day? So all of a sudden, you've started with a customer experience that says, I can get this benefit, but when I go to take advantage of the benefit, it's not carried through in the experience. That can be problematic. So I actually went down to the airport because I'm just that kind of person. So I took the train to JFK in New York, and I actually went to the Hertz counter and to their fulfillment area where you pick up the cars, and I walked around and I asked the people, so how does this work? And they actually pointed out, so there's midsize and there's compact. So now we're back to what it says in the offer, compact, midsize, full size, and there are the premium upgrades, get in and go. So when I get on site, it meets the terms of what they promised in the email. The brand experience is fulfilled. But that intermediate step of reserving the car online was not the same experience. It used different language and it didn't elucidate what I was achieving. So I made my little happy, sad faces for my journey. I was happy when I started. I was sad when I went to go do it. And then there's the dash line back to the happy, because am I going to fulfill that, or am I going to go to a different car rental company? At that point, am I just shopping on price? Am I going to go to Sixt or one of the other vendors? It's uncertain. I just wanted to use this as a real world example of where we have to execute on digital transformation all the way through. The actuality of the experience matters more than what we write down, quote unquote, customer experience at the beginning. I'll give another quick example. This just took place yesterday. Today's Tuesday, so it was Sunday night. I was flying from the United States to Europe, and I passed through security at the airport. I was walking around in the shops, and there's a shop that sells books and magazines, classic thing. How many of you all have bought a book or a magazine for an airplane flight? A lot of people, right? What about records? How many of you have bought a standard vinyl album at the airport to take on the plane? Anybody? So here in the shop, you can get your bottle of water, you can get some candy, you can get a neck pillow, and you can buy record albums, which I thought was a little odd. What is the experience of buying a record in an airport? And it turns out it's a little strange, because records are really big and they're fragile, and seat back pockets these days don't have enough room for them. So I was like, all right, David and I are gonna fly to Amsterdam, and after he did not fit in my seat back pocket, I put him up in the overhead, and to my genuine surprise, I legitimately did not know what was gonna happen. He arrived unscathed here in Amsterdam. We will find out, stay tuned on my LinkedIn to see if he makes it back to the United States in my checked luggage okay. But it just occurred to me, like, and this is the curiosity I want to inculcate in all of you. Why are people selling records at an airport? And what is that experience like as a customer? And so what does that mean for us as the transformation agents? We, the people in this audience, we are the ones who are executing these things. We are the ones making decisions, building the business cases, prioritizing the spend of the dollars and the allocation of resources for digital transformation. We are the ones looking at paper processes, at legacy systems, and saying, how do we catapult this into the cloud? How do we leverage APIs? What is the role that AI plays? We're going to be talking about all of those things today and tomorrow. And the question I want you to be thinking about for yourself is, so what does that mean for my company? What is my brand promise that I am taking out through my value chain to the customers? And what are the processes, the strategies, and the culture that I need to drive change with in order to see the successful, sustainable, and profitable adoption of those new setups so that we can serve our customers in the way that we want? That's what we're going to be talking about with digital transformation in action today and tomorrow.